Good morning, everybody. This is fantastic. I got all my favorite people in one spot. EMP, where are you? Good morning. Yes. EFJ, where are you? Good morning. And SB, the cool kids at the back of the bus, say hello. I love all you guys. This is great. It's good to be here and to hear what Jesus has to say about this opportunity. I need some volunteers. You know how I roll. Teachers, I think I need grade 4s today. Could you just send me... Oh, they're not... There's no 4s? We got a few over here. Okay, let's just find... Let's see here. Put your hand up if you'd like to give me a hand. Who wants to come up? Okay, right here. Yep. And then... Yes. Good, come here. Just stand right across the front. Good, we got 3 there. I'll get 2 more over here. Yeah, in the Florida hoodie. And let's get 1 more. Yeah, right here. Yes, ma'am, in the blue. Yes. Right, but yes, you. That's so funny. Yes, kindness matters. Kindness matters. Yes. It's always so funny. It's like, me? Who are you talking to? All right. I'm going to give you guys a little bag here. You take that. Mr. Holstein and Madame Sestito, would you give me a hand here? Just in case, I need you guys as a backup. So, Jesus uses this strange image where he calls us salt. Like, how odd. It's like, why not cayenne pepper? Or curry? Right? He uses salt. So, what I have here, I've got 3 or 5 little pouches. And each of them have either sugar or salt. Ooh. So, could you help them just open their pouch and pour it into one hand? Let's lose as little as we can to the wind. But just cup your hand, and we're going to pour it in. Okay, we're going to get a nice little pile. Hang on, miss. We'll get somebody to help you. You good? Can you get? No, we'll get somebody to help you. And then y'all can just take the baggies away. That's good. Okay. So y'all know what's coming next, don't you? Hey, but wait. It could be sugar. This is kind of like them Harry Potter Jelly Bellies, you know, the Bean Boozled. You don't know what you get. Okay, so we're going to count them down. Now, here's what you guys got to do. Okay? I want you to try and pick out who has the sugar and who has the salt. They're going to throw it back into their mouth. We're going to count them down. We're going to go 3, 2, 1, and then you're going to go whoop. That's going to go back in your mouth. And I want you to figure out who got sugar, who got salt. Are you guys ready? Are y'all ready back there? Okay, nice and loud. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Do it. Okay, who got sugar? Who got sugar? There's the sugars. What's the matter? Was that salty?
Oh, yeah.
You spit most of it out here somewhere. Is that pretty salty? Are you okay? You can just like spit it in your hand and go off to the side. Okay, give these guys a big round of applause. Thanks, guys. You guys go have a seat. Okay, yeah, you can go like... Here's the thing about salt. Salt, you can't ignore salt. One of my favorite things to do out on my farm, I like making bacon. I'll tell you the worst thing is when I use too much salt. Right? You ever had something super salty? Like these guys, you put that in your mouth, it's kind of like having like a shot of lemon juice, right? It's like, okay? Jesus used this image. Now he's using an image that we might not fully understand because of what salt was in his time. Salt was like valuable, like money. Okay? In fact, what's the French word for salt? Right. Have you ever heard this word? Salary? Not celery like the vegetable. Salary? You get paid A salary, that has its root in the word salt, sell. Because the Roman soldiers were paid in salt sometimes. They'd be paid in salt because salt was so valuable for several things. They could use salt to heal wounds. They could use salt to cure meat. Can you imagine just having a block of raw meat in the desert, right? It's going to go bad really quick. So they would use salt to preserve it. And Jesus said when salt is no longer salty, it's only good for one thing, and that's to throw it out on the ground and trample it underfoot. Even when salt got contaminated, they would use it to pave their roads, to keep the dust down. Mix it with water, and then they'd spray it, and it would form a crust on the road. But that was the last use. It was no good for anything else. But there's one thing salt is unignorable. You can't ignore salt. Okay? And so he's told us, Jesus said, you are the salt of the earth. In other words, he's saying, when you live my life, I want you to go out and I want you to be unignorable. I want people to see my kindness, my love come through you to the point where they can't ignore it. Where the world would look at you and say, what is up with that guy? He's so joyful. Why is she always encouraging others? She said something to me that made me feel so good, I can't stop thinking about it. Or he reached out and he brought me something when I was in trouble and it meant so much to me in that time. I'm forever grateful. You become unignorable when you are the salt of the earth. So he's got these two images that he used together. Salt, be unignorable in the way of Christ. And then the second one is interesting, is the light of the world. You are the light of the world. And in one other place, Jesus says, it's the only image that he uses to describe both himself and us. Jesus said, I am the light of the world. And then he said, you are the light of the world. Now the light in those times, it's not flashlights, headlamps, iPhone lights, right? Hey Siri, turn on my light. No, she's not listening to me. Right? It was candles, it was flame, it was oil burning in lamps, right? When flames come together, we hear about this right now with all of the wildfires. When two fires merge, maybe you saw some of the video. The fires come together and suddenly, to stay going, fire needs two things, oxygen and fuel. Okay, oxygen in the air and then fuel like wood, twigs, dry grass, right? And when two fires come together, they need more oxygen. And so they start pulling in oxygen from everywhere. And both fires together make a fire bigger than just adding the two together. It's like 1 + 1 = 3, right? And they actually call it a firestorm. I know, my math was no good, was it? That's what I'm saying. When two fires come together, they make a fire bigger than just two of them on their own. Jesus said, you are the light of the world. Go out together and create a firestorm based on what I've shown you, how I've lived. So be unignorable and go out and be a light of the world. Be a firestorm for the world. I know, been through many, many changes in my life. Many things that I didn't have much control over. But I had control over these things. I could be unignorable with the love of Jesus, and I could continue to be a light wherever I went. So we got 3 schools coming together to make one little village, right? And it's going to be some changes, and we got to say goodbye to some things. But change doesn't have to be an obstacle. It can just be an opportunity. And now St. Albert gets to be the benefit of this new community that's going to be unignorable with the love of Christ, and it's going to be a light for the entire city. Amen?
Amen.